on Facebook at Our Wrestling
No,
Podcast.
don't watch us where I put in, free hours of audio clips and pictures and nice graphics that you see at the bottom of the screen with the clearly labeled title. Watch Jonathan's Royal Rumble review where you see his fucking dresser in the background with socks hanging out of the top drawer and underwear hanging out of the second drawer. And
actually, I thought Sheamus was going to come in 22nd, but he came in 23rd.
That's fine. And these people somehow get like 2,000 hits and shit when it's just like, listen,
hip toss.
I shoot you straight. I shoot with the shoot shot, and I shoot you straight, and I don't dare. Shut the fuck up.
Meltzer gave this 3/4 stars, but I gave it 4 stars.
I need to go check my dresser drawer to see what's hanging out of it right now.
Yeah, well, that's why I have us put backgrounds up, because you don't want to see what's hanging out of my dresser drawer if you catch my drift. I don't know what that even means. What could be there?
By the way, what's up, guys? Our Wrestling Podcast back at you with another episode. This is Dave Vicious along with Just the Total Package, Craig the British Bulldog, bringing you our perspective on the world of professional wrestling. No inside sources, no ties to the industry, just stories from the diehards, sharing opinions with you. Today's topic is Royal Rumble 2013. Almost forgot. For audio fans, give us a listen on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and Google Podcasts, or watch our videos on YouTube at Our Wrestling Channel. Can you do just a solid on social media and give him a follow on Instagram or Twitter at O.W.P 2019? By the way, when Jess revealed this topic, I was like, wow, that seems it's
random.
Not within our not even random for me, but like not even the threshold.
Isn't it sad? It's fucking 10 years ago, and I think in my mind, I'm like, this is more relevant, right? Like, it's only 10 years ago. I'm like, fuck, it's 10 years. It's been 10 years.
And some of the correlations of this 10 years, people that have left and now come back that are on this pay-per-view, and it's just it's so weird thinking about.
I think after they went HD, I feel everything after that's modern. Is that fair?
Yep.
This was on January 27th of 2013 in Phoenix, Arizona, the U.S. Airways Center. Attendance was 15,103. Our buy rate was 512,000. It's just okay. Our tagline was just simply, finally. We'll talk about that in a minute. Our commentators were Michael Cole, Jerry Lawler, JBL. Matt Stryker was our interviewer. Announcers are Lillian Garcia and Justin Roberts. The pay-per-view opens up to a segment of time. You can never have enough, Craig.
I did like the theme. Like they were talking, and like later on, it was about numbers.
Yes, I had that in here. Yeah, that's in my notes.
I do have my problems with this pay-per-view. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, there are some problems. We'll even talk about just the order of matches too, but I think we will. The segment also promotes our main event is The Rock versus CM Punk for the World Wrestling Federation Championship. In our pre-show match, Antonio Cesaro defeated The Miz to retain his WWE United States Championship in 7 minutes and 37 seconds.
Setting up, loading up, the neutralizer. Cesaro for the win.
All right. United States Champion Antonio Cesaro.
Well, we'll just jump right into it because I feel that this was the slowest moving pay-per-view I probably have ever seen in my life. Like, they took forever. They showed so many goddamn video packages. I wanted to scream. And then when I realized before the Royal Rumble, there was only 2 matches. You could not show me 2 of these video packages and fit Cesaro and Miz on the goddamn show. And at least have them open the show or something like that.
They didn't get to the last match. They didn't get to the first match until 12, 15 minutes.
In the first match, the Big Show comes down. And then after the Big Show comes down, they go back to the table. And they're talking for a minute, and then they show a video package, And then I was like, oh, and when they came back, I was like, oh, fuck, that's right there in the middle of a match. And then Alberto Del Rio comes down. Why did they show like 3 minutes of video package? And they even went back to the table where they're like, I don't know, Michael Cole, what do you think?
Not even that, but it's in
on.
my notes, but you had a Bret Hart cut segment for like 2 minutes. Why is
well, just jump into the first match because we're taking just as long as they do.
Okay, I'm sorry. Alberto Del Rio with Ricardo Rodriguez defeated the Big Show in a last man standing match. I hate these. For the World Heavyweight Championship, 16 minutes and 57 seconds for an opener. Bret Hart gets a little love here before the match starts. I'll give it a C+ reluctantly. My notes.
Reluctantly.
Yeah, reluctantly. It's just not that good. Show's Band-Aid is gross. His Band-Aid's hanging off him the entire match.
Oh, that's right.
It's gross.
Where's the Band-Aid?
On his arm.
On his penis. Oh, his arm.
Whoa.
Sorry.
Del Rio is so over here though. Like people are freaking out for him. Every time he gets something over, they love Del Rio. We were also big time over for Del Rio. You all remember. For a last man standing match, it wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good either. I don't like the finish at all. I feel show could have gotten out of that easily. The taping of his legs, like whatever. I don't get it. And I do like the table spot, and I do love when Big Show slaps the crap out of somebody. Like, there's a reason why Big Show had a shirt with just the hand on it, because I saw a handprint on Del Rio for like 12 minutes because Big Show slapped him so hard.
And the table spot you refer to was they actually off the stage. Big Show choke slams Alberto Del Rio off one of the.
I'm okay with it. I'm almost like this is going to be terrible, but then it was like, oh, it's not that bad. At the same time, you can see that the Big Show's physical breakdown here. He can barely get up. He has to churn properly, get his knee up. To get back into the ring is a real struggle for him. But they're still doing big spots. It's just hard for him to even get up off the mat. And those kind of the reasons why I gave it that C+. I'm kind of surprised I gave it that high of a grade because I hate last man standing matches just on principle. I hate them. You got to count to 10, 40 times, and it takes up so much time on a pay-per-view, which you said we could have had Miz and, we could have had that opening match instead. And this is one of the worst matches that you can have for an opening match, and I'm just going to shut up.
You know what? I liked it. When I heard it was Big Show and Alberto, I went, oh, this is terrible. This is going to be awful. And then I saw Big Show come out. And I said, no, this is going to be awful. And then for some reason, it had no business being as good as it was. And that's I think, saying a lot for a Big Show match at this point in his career. 16 minutes is a long time. Last man standing matches or Texas Deaths are just terrible and waste too much time, just like I Quit matches and gimmicky. But I was reminded of what a good hand Alberto Del Rio was, despite apparently being a monster of a human being. But back here, he was great, and he's over, and he carried a lot of this match, and I was pleasantly surprised by it and gave it a solid B. So I'm in a good mood watching this pay-per-view. If I got through a 60-minute Big Show last man standing match, I was like, okay, bring it on. This is fun. So I was happy with it. And we were off and rolling.
All right.
I give it a C+, like Dave. I do not like Del Rio's face run. I hated it. And we all loved him as a heel. He was awesome.
True.
And they decided, because everybody chanted C, Vince is like, you gotta turn him face then. Vince was already losing it. The wheels were falling off the tracks here with him.
Give him Bret Hart's glasses.
Just give his announcer.
Oh, he was still wearing up to the ring.
It was just ridiculous. And so I didn't like his face run at all. However, Del Rio was over on this particular night. They did give him a little clappy claps and chanted
I find
C.
it fascinating that it was a heel way to win, but that's okay.
I did not think this match was good, actually, even though I gave it a C+. But I did appreciate the different angles. They were outside. They were trying to do good stuff for us, however. And I really thought it was sweet.
They worked really hard.
When they both climbed up on top of whatever the set was.
Yeah.
And, when Big Show threw him off, and they had a conversation. And Big Show asked for his consent. Are you okay if I throw you off? And he was like, yes, visibly on the camera, and he threw him off. I wanted to give it a D after I saw that because I remember watching it live. I walked outside. I was so mad.
Wait, explain that. So wait, does he ask, "Are you okay or ready" or something?
Yes, he goes, "Are you ready?" And he's got his hand around Del Rio's throat, and he's like, "Uh-huh," like it was fucking clear as day. I'm like, "You motherfuckers!"
Show is notorious.
By the way,
for,
what other spot were you gonna do up there? Did you guys plan 7 different spots?
Show talks more than anyone in the ring, and everybody can see it. He's the worst about that.
He's the worst. And then they do the biggest spot where, of course, the camera has to zoom in on them because it's a big spot. And they're like, "So what are you doing later?" "I don't know, man. Did you want to go to the same restaurant or not?" "I don't know. Maybe we go to a different place tonight and eat." "Yeah, for sure. I'm down for new things." "Oh, are you ready?" "Go." Like, and throw it. And I was like, fuck. And then on the replay, it's slow motion. It's like, "Are you ready?" He fucking throws them off. And I'm like, why the fuck would you do that twice? Like, I remember watching it live. So I went into this match knowing that was coming. And I still gave it a C+ because I did kind of appreciate their work in the middle. I was like, you know what? Like, it wasn't as bad as I remember. And then when I saw that, I'm like, I'm going to fucking punch a donkey right now because this is ridiculous.
He's going to do it. Yes! It's over. He did it. Alberto Del Rio retains the title. Some way, Alberto Del Rio found a way to win again.
And after this, Dave is going to cover 18 video packages. And I wrote, why is the show moving so fucking slow?
We get an interview with AJ, CM Punk's wife, Big E.
She is so pretty, and she's such a good actress here with like when she's in love with Ziggler.
Big E was in the WWE 10 years ago. Motherfuck. What's happening to time? Jesus.
It's massive. Which this whole thing is weird, but I thought Big E was extremely funny when they kicked out our interviewer and he starts to interview him in his interview voice. Big E was so talented, we didn't even know it yet. And I miss him. Can I say that I miss him? And I hope that his neck injury does not keep him from wrestling again. I miss Big E so much.
I do miss him too.
Yeah, so
I think that even if he can't get in there, they'll figure out something for him. He'll be on the pre-show panel, which I'll take him.
Yeah, he's that talented. Like even if he doesn't,
he could do it. Oh, he's better. Yeah. He's better than almost everybody on that panel right now. Like, not even a question. So, and like Jess said, we also have some Royal Rumble quick vignettes by several superstars that I will not go into. I'm not going to do that.
They decided after the first match not to mosey on to the second match. They had a segment with Dolph. That's fine with Dolph and Big E or whatever. They could have cut it right there. Then they did old school. Remember the old school when they would do intermission? Yeah. Back when they did intermission, they would just play like the Model, Hacksaw Duggan, Rowdy Piper, Dino Bravo, the Barbarian and Warlord, and they would just do them rapid fire. You didn't have to do that after the first match barely got over, and they're like, let's go to a 7-minute segment that involves anything but wrestling. And it's like, fuck, goddamn.
And what was it? It was just entrance into the Rumble, like, right?
Yeah, just talking about that. Tonight at the Royal Rumble, I'm gonna crush you. And they would go to somebody else. And they were trying to pay tribute to the old way, but I'm like, you have already showed me way too many the wrestling on this pay-per-view is so this big compared to everything else you're showing me right now. Like, can we get to the pay-per-view, please? Like, my God. Sorry.
Yeah. You're
bothered all over again.
You're good. I understand. It was annoying. And again, we had a good opener and pre-show that could have replaced all of this. Listen, I believe it is. I don't know because I can't fucking see it.
Whoa.
Match number 2, Daniel Bryan and Kane, or better known as at this moment as Team Hell No, defeated Team Rhodes Scholars, consisting of Cody
Completely
Rhodes
forgot of Rhodes Scholars. Completely forgot.
And by submission for the
Cody's mustache is the thing of legends.
It's fantastic. They defeated them for the WWE Tag Team Championships. They basically held on to them in 9 minutes and 25 seconds. I gave it a B. This should have been the opener, in my opinion. This match understood what it was. Hey, guess what?
I got to cross it off my notes because I wrote that fucking exact same thing. I was like, this should have been the opener. That was my first.
This should have been the opener, and they understood that this is not the main event. We're going to get in. We're going to hit it hard. We're going to do well. And we're going to get the fuck out of here.
Wind as Daniel Bryan wrestles Sandow to the mat. Going for the yes knee, no lock. Locked in. Sandow taps out. Team champions retained.
Here are your winners and still the WWE Tag Team Champions,
I gave it a C. I thought it was just a Raw tag match, honestly, but the dynamic of Kane and Daniel Bryan was fucking cool. I did really enjoy
It
their
was
tag
great.
team of Hell No. And this is the infancy of Daniel Bryan. When he come out and say no, everybody else would say yes. And this was like
So
the beginning of
over.
it all. A year later, we'd be mad that they're not pushing him. And then at WrestleMania 30, he wins everything. So we're like 15 months away from him winning everything.
What's your grade, Craigers?
I will see. I must have been in a good mood watching this pay-per-view, so I'm going to apologize for the rest of it. I gave it a B. I gave it a B.
I gave it a B. You're good. Oh, good. Jess, you alluded to this earlier. We get a numbers game segment with the Rumble, which is always really fun. Who got knocked out?
Which
the
they
quickest.
played this package often leading up to Royal Rumble on Raw, and I loved this package. I
kind of miss it. I wish they'd bring this back.
Great. Like, but again,
the Warlord record
in the middle,
lasting 2 seconds.
Yeah, combined weight and all that stuff. Like, just everything was cool.
Let's get into it. The third match. This is literally the third match. Is the
Royal
Rumble
third
itself.
match.
And I'm not gonna get into too much. I'll try to talk about the things that I'd like. But I gave the match itself a B. I did enjoy it. I had a lot of fun. I love how the final 6 all got their work in and pretty much got their finishers in. I really enjoyed that. I got really scared when I thought that Sheamus died, getting thrown out over the top of a quarter. Yeah, feed me more. Should have been fed a little less, but you can talk to CM Punk about that whenever you'd like. He'll give you his opinion about it. But there's some fun stuff in there with Kofi with the office chair. Give me your chair. He hops back in, using the office chair to hop back over. So because Kofi always has a great moment at Rumble where he almost gets eliminated and then doesn't, and then he gets eliminated anyway. Right after he gets back on the office chair and rolls himself over, he gets knocked out. And by the way, Dolph Ziggler and Jericho are the absolute Iron Men in the match and take care of business, and probably are your 2 ring generals for that match to make sure everybody.
The return of Jericho. It's 1 and 2 there,
yeah.
And Jericho had been gone for a while.
Yeah, so I gave it a B, and yeah, I'll just hand it off to you guys from there.
And John Cena wins the Rumble, by the way, outlasting 29 other competitors. Ryan back gets thrown out by Cena, and then was it Sheamus before that? Who was the final 4?
Ryan back. Yeah, the last 3 in the ring was Sheamus, Ryan back, and Cena.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And yeah, we were all joking before we started recording. Ryan is a little green, and even his push down when everyone gets their shit in as soon as they get in the ring, he was just pushing everyone to with all his force.
He was just fucking wound up like a goddamn coil.
I was like, you see that to Jericho, who's been in there for 45 minutes, or just stop. So
I'm sorry, Craig, did you grade it, bud? My bad.
I gave it a solid B. It flowed. Told some good stories. You had the Kofi angle. You had Dolph and Jericho. You had Cena going over.
And just what did you grade it, bud? My bad.
I graded it a solid B-. Not the best Rumble I've seen, but it flowed, like Craig says. I really liked the opening where Jericho was a surprise. The place went crazy for fucking Jericho. Insane. He probably got the biggest pop of the night, I think. Really, in this match.
You gotta be kidding me! This place is rocking! Wow! And the arena is shaking!
From Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada, weighing 227 pounds, Chris Jericho!
He's back! 15,000 plus are on their feet for Y2J!
So I'm trying to get the.
I'll read real quick here. I'm going to read the number that they came in as. So I'm going to read them in order and who they were eliminated by. And I'm just going to mention the notable times. So number 1 was Dolph Ziggler. He was eliminated by Sheamus. Dolph Ziggler lasted 49 minutes, 47 seconds.
That's
Chris Jericho was number Chris Jericho was number 2. He was eliminated by Dolph Ziggler in a cool-ass spot, by the way, later in the night. Chris Jericho, 47 minutes, 53 seconds. Cody Rhodes was number 3, eliminated by John Cena. Kofi Kingston was number 4. Santino was
real
number
quick,
5.
he had 4 eliminations, by the way, which is like top 3. Cody Rhodes did.
Yes, yeah, he did. And then Cody Rhodes eliminated both Kofi and Santino. Drew McIntyre, part of the 3-man band. Drew McIntyre.
That's the weird stuff I keep talking about. Like, whoa, Drew
you got to hear that song 3
6.
times.
Yeah, he was number 6 in the Rumble. Number 7 was Titus O'Neil. Number 8 was Goldust, who got a big pop as well.
The whole Goldust and Cody angle in this Rumble was great.
Yeah.
Yep.
David Otunga was number 9. He was eliminated by Sheamus.
I'm just kidding. Otunga's terrible.
The whole David Otunga thing. Number 10 was Heath Slater. He was eliminated by John Cena. Number 11 was Sheamus. He was eliminated by Ryback.
Won it the year before.
Yes,
Yep.
and Ryback eliminated 5 people, which I believe was the most in this Rumble this year.
Most, yep.
He tied for the
Mhm.
most. Him and Cena, I think, did tie.
Cena got 4.
Oh, did he get 4? So Ryback was the best ever. And
Well,
Sheamus
he's
eliminated
tied-
5 people.
It
tied
felt
with,
like Cena spent the entire Rumble on the ground. By the way,
he was upset.
Sheamus and Ryback tied with 5.
Yeah.
I don't
Sheamus
recall a
was
lot of
number
Cena
11.
action.
Number 12 was Tenzai, which was A-Train. He was eliminated by Kofi Kingston. Number 14 was Brodus Clay. He was eliminated by Chris Jericho,
Call My
Cody
Mama.
Rhodes, Darren Young, Heath Slater, and Sheamus. He's the current NWA champion. Rey
That's
Mysterio
right.
was number 14. Wade Barrett eliminated him. 15 was Darren Young, eliminated by Kofi Kingston. Bo Dallas was number 16. He was eliminated
Bo
by Sin
Dallas
Cara
looked
and Wade
good
Barrett.
too, and they tried to push him as the big new NXT guy and won a tournament the night before. He looked great here. I was always rooting for Bo
He
Dallas. I
eliminated
loved him in the B
Barrett, too,
team.
By the way, he eliminated Wade Barrett, and then Barrett came and grabbed him. I think.
And
Yeah.
grabbed him, yeah. And then
And-
Sin Cara helped him. dump
And we
him
were
out.
talking on another podcast about Barry Windham. He has a Barry Windham body. Bo Dallas is never going to be that
And
shredded.
he also has Barry Windham's boots on, by the way. Barry Windham used to wear those boots.
yeah.
No, it's all in the family.
I was rooting for Bo. I hope we see a resurgence of Bo.
I know he resigned, so we will, I think. The Godfather was number 17, and he was eliminated after 5 seconds by Dolph Ziggler.
And then puts his glasses back on. It was so funny,
yeah.
and the
Let's
hat
go.
back
Let's
on.
go, babe. Let's go, ladies.
Come on, babies.
Wade Barrett was number 18. He was eliminated by Bo Dallas. John Cena came
Who?
in at number 19. He was the winner. Damian Sandow, number 20, eliminated by Ryback. Daniel Bryan came in at 21, eliminated by Cesaro and Kane, which is hilarious because Cesaro dumped him out. Kane caught him. And then
And then
Kane's like,
dropped
I'm going to
him.
drop you. And he's like, oh, and he's like, yes. Oh, and then he finally dropped him, which is really funny.
Yeah.
Their dynamic was hilarious. Let's see. Number 22 was Cesaro. He came in and John Cena eliminated him. Number 23 was the Great Khali. He was eliminated by Daniel Bryan and
no.
Kane.
Bringing him out was like horrible. By the way, I just have to say that's horrible.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Number 24 was Kane. He was eliminated by Daniel Bryan. That's right. Daniel Bryan scooped him out, and then Daniel Bryan was thrown into him, and he was like, "You eliminated me. I'm not going to catch you." And he's like, "No." Let's see. Number 25 was Zack Ryder. He was eliminated by Randy Orton. Number 26 was Randy Orton. He was eliminated by Ryback. 27 was Jinder Mahal, part of the 3-man band.
That's
he's
wild
eliminated by-
too. Wow.
Yeah, really,
Jinder
it
Mahal.
really is. He was eliminated by Sheamus. The Miz was number 28. Sin Cara was number 29. They were both eliminated by Ryback. And number 30 was Ryback, and he was eliminated lastly by John Cena, as John Cena won the Royal Rumble.
He's gone. John Cena is going to WrestleMania.
John Cena has done it!
A 10-time WWE champion is going back to the dance, to the main stage, to the grandest of them all, WrestleMania. John Cena has made history tonight. John Cena becomes only the 4th man to win 2 Royal Rumble matches.
Yeah. The Rock defeated CM Punk, accompanied by Paul Heyman, for the WWE Championship in 23 minutes and 20 seconds. It's a
Ending
weird time.
Punk's over 400-day reign here.
Yeah, 438, I think, was the number. And it's a tough one because the time isn't really right. They have to stop and restart the match. It's a tough one to grade. I give it a C plus. I'm not I'm not happy about it. It's not
I thought I was going to be a cocksucker.
Yeah, I it's not the way to send off 438 days of Punk's reign, but the work was great. The crowd was supercharged, and I'm not a fan of the ending. Though this obviously sets up The Rock versus Cena at WrestleMania 29. That's the whole point of what this is happening, and The Rock is going to pass the torch to Cena one more time, and that's great. I love all that. We love that match at WrestleMania. It's fine. I don't.
Not to interrupt you, Dave, but earlier you were talking about match order. I like that they had the Rumble before this match, because if they would have had this match, and then you would have known who was going to win the Rumble, like right afterwards. So once The Rock won, I'd be like, "Oh, Cena's going to win the goddamn Royal Rumble." I got to know that right away.
Because the Rumble.
So when they drawed you out and then Cena won, you still could have thought that Cena would have ended up taking on The Rock, like something would, because Elimination Chamber also factors into it. Can
I counter a little bit? If Cena wins the Rumble, you know that Rock is winning the match.
Say it again. Sorry, you were breaking up.
Oh, I was asking, if Cena wins the Royal Rumble, do you already know that The Rock is winning, or did you already know The Rock was winning from the get?
I figured The Rock was going to win from the get.
Okay.
Why would you bring him back to lose?
I don't remember this back here, whether it was going to be like twice in a lifetime, or whether we thought back then there's no way Rock and Cena are going to go again. I can't remember what the sheets were saying or where they were headed.
I think it was known that they brought The Rock back for that reason. They brought him back so he took on Cena here. He actually rematched Cena at Elimination Chamber. So The Rock wrestled more than once, and then he wrestled again at Mania, and then they had him for a handful of Raws spread throughout to keep promoting everything. So The Rock was back. Obviously, he won the title here, but he was back for about 3 to 4 solid months, and he did wrestle at Elimination Chamber. He rematched Cena, Punk.
Wow. Yeah. Craig, what you got, bud?
I gave it a B-. Too long. It was too long.
Did you give a B- also? Sorry.
He's C+.
I haven't graded it, but yes, I did give it a B-. Yeah, I gave it a B-, and I matched Craig actually on this one. I thought it was a little longer, but it was better than I remember. I hate the ending. I've never liked endings like that. Listen, I know it's a show, and I get what they were trying to do.
Well, explain the ending actually for folks.
So what the ending happened was the Shield attacked The Rock leading up to the pay-per-view, and Vince said, you know what, Punk, you like to be a little sneaky, and Punk's like, I don't have anything to do with the Shield. I don't know who the Shield is. Who's the Shield? What's their name? Yeah. And amazing, by the way, the Shield's back here 10 years ago. Crazy. Right. So the current biggest man in the industry, Roman Reigns, was not even really on the pay-per-view. He's not even really on the pay-per-view, by the way. You didn't even know. And so that happened. They attack. The lights go out. Someone's attacking The Rock. They wake up. They see the table broken. The Rock's dead on the table. Punk rolls him in, pins him 1, 2, 3, which I hate that image. I'm a wrestling purist, right? The Rock is your hero in this storyline. You cannot show him weak. You can show him beat up on the outside, but he's got to Thank you, Dave. Absolutely, 100%. You are right. And that's what I thought. I'll just fucking count him out and then let The Rock go, no, start it over. And then Vince is like, guess what? Yes. All of a sudden I'm a face, even though you've hated me for years. And so, that's fine. It's just, I felt it was weird that Vince wanted to make it about himself because he came out. And it was a whole thing. And I was like, none of this is about The Rock. It should be. You're ending a 400-plus day reign and someone you put a lot of stock into.
It's to save face with Punk, but it didn't work.
It didn't work, and because you saw The Rock got pinned. And by the way, the crowd went fucking crazy. There was a lot of people that were cheering for Punk. There was a lot of people because they were tired of Vince doing what he always did. This is 10 years ago. They were like, we don't give a shit how big The Rock is. You need to push young talent. People liked Punk, even though he was a heel. Him and Heyman together were goddamn gold. They both could rock a mic like nobody's business. I mean, their promos were out of this world. The Rock or Punk leading up to him matched on the match. He made The Rock look silly on the mic sometimes because Punk was so involved. He was current. He was the guy.
I could
push
tell
your
you,
guys.
I can tell you why,
push your guys now.
I can tell you why Vince came out, because that was the biggest you'll ever see him again.
Probably.
How big?
I'll never.
He was
be this
massive.
Level. But I agree with Dave. Yeah. The lights come on. He's dead. Count him out.
Is just broken. Count him out, Kyoto. This is just not right. No way. Day 435 will be tomorrow for CM Punk. Admitting now, Michael, he's the best Punk is the best in the world. Now, would you please acknowledge that?
No, we're not going to acknowledge it.
And then Vince will come out and say, "No way."
Have Punk in the
Or,
ring, laying down.
If you want to roll him in the
knockout
ring,
too.
how about you roll him in the ring and then you go for the cover, and then the ref's kind of like, "I don't know what happened. Should I count this pin?" Then Vince's music hits, but you never show the 3 count.
Yeah.
You never show the 3 count because that fucking sucked. Like for Raw, I was watching it and I was like, wow, now I want Punk to win, because you heard the crowd and you saw like the reaction. I was like, that was all positive energy for Punk. I'm like, you just fucked the Rock over. And then when Vince came out, he's like, let's storyline fuck this over and everything. And then by the storyline, they reversed it. And I was like, negative. I just saw your hero get beat. You cannot reverse me out of this. We're all living in this moment and you fucked it up. Like, it's why I didn't like the way Brett won King of the Ring in 93.
Quite frankly,
pins him, and then they come back and stop the match over.
It let the air out of WrestleMania 29 because when Cena beats him, it's not that big of a deal.
Well, that and the Rock fucking tore his abdomen muscle like 2 minutes into the match or whatever. Like we were talking about, we always joke about him pulling something. Yeah, so I was just look. I liked the match. I look back on this and I really respected Punk, and I was like, he was really good, and like people were into Punk, and even during the matches, you would hear chants for Punk like during the match. I'm like, oh shit, like this, he was really over like back here, and they healed him and everything. They made him heel towards the end of his run and all that shit.
He carried Rock in this whole thing. It was
he
good.
did.
Sure.
And
sure.
I don't remember how good, or I think their Elimination Chamber match a month later was better than this match, but I actually remember this match not being as good as when I went back and watched it now. I hated the ending even more now than I did then, and I hated it then. But I actually watched the match and I was like,
the work is good.
Them.
I told you if the Shield got involved in your matchup, we would strip you of the championship. Yeah! Yes! Oh, I know. Technically we couldn't see the Shield involved, right? So that means we're all stupid. It wasn't the Shield. CM Punk, it is my duty as chairman of the board.
Oh boy, yeah. Shut up, cheerleader. Oh boy.
To officially.
No. We ain't ending this night like that. You don't take it from him. I am. Restart the match now.
They took us outside the ring because The Rock can't hang with Punk. There's no fucking way. So Punk's just like, we're going to go outside. And, and they did all their shit outside, and that was awesome and entertaining and fun. I didn't mind the lights going out with The Rock getting beat up, but Dave nailed it right on the fucking head. Count him the fuck out. And then if you want to do your hokey good guy getting the match restarted, do it off a count out. Not The Rock, on the tape outside by a broken table. Minutes go by. Punk picks him up, throws him in the ring. Rock still can't kick out and gets pinned. Makes him look like shit. I was like, wow.
Scoop my heat. He scooped my heat.
But like Craig said, it was to save face for Punk. And Craig was dead on that one too. So
it's all
I didn't mean to talk so much. Sorry. I just.
Here it comes. Another people down. Yes.
What do you got to do to beat this guy? Cover. Over the leg. You're kidding me. You're kidding me.
The Rock has done it.
Overall, B plus. That's a little high.
I'll give it a B. I've straddled the fence the entire fucking event, so I'm just gonna go home and finish how I started. I just give it a solid.
But it's
B.
hard. I mean, this is one of the hardest ones to grade.
As I was grading, when I realized there was only 4 matches, I'm like, this is fucking really hard right now. To do. It's very hard.
When we do,
how do you grade a Royal Rumble? You usually grade it off the winner, right? And
you grade off the Rumble match itself.
Yeah.
But I grade it sometimes if I'm watching a pay-per-view or reviewing it, it feels like a chore, I'm going to destroy it. And this did not feel like a chore. Like
it wasn't like that.
And sometimes you got to be in the right mindset, but I thoroughly enjoyed kind of watching it. I just thought it was slickly produced. It did have too much stuff going on, but I honestly didn't remember who was going to win that the Rock Punk match. I was like, and I didn't really recall. I mean, I knew it was the New Jersey twice in a lifetime. I didn't know it was for the belt, so I didn't know if Rock lost. I knew who was going to face Cena, but I was pleasantly surprised by it, especially since they kept saying 400 plus days or whatever. But yeah, the ending, you just know that it's backstage. It's egos going like, well, that's the ending they all could kind of agree on is Punk pinned him first, which it's kind of bullshit, but whatever.
Yeah.
It did so much damage. If it was ego, it just did so much damage to the moment. Like, and it made The Rock look like mortal, and he shouldn't be. He's the hero. He's coming back for being gone for all this time. He's got to be the hero. Like, and Superman, I mean, yeah, he does get weakened by kryptonite for a minute, but he never fucking goes down. And then and then he always rises up. Like The Rock should not have been. That vision of him getting pinned, a slow, steady pin.
It's so funny.
The crowd went crazy. I was like, you can't let the crowd show that they like him. But in that moment, you saw a lot of the crowd go yes, and I was like, oh, that fucking backfired, did it not? Like, you shouldn't have done that to him. That fucked The Rock over.
The reason why the DC stuff failed recently is because Superman actually did die, and then he comes back. To your point, it's
right.
Like, you killed Superman, and like, you expect us to care after that? Like, what? Why would
they killed Optimus Prime in the Transformers, and when they brought him back, I'm like, you killed him. I watched him die. Weird.
Yeah, it's like, don't toy with me like
don't
that.
Kill him.
Yeah.
Like, don't kill him.
Yeah, none of that ever works. Don't kill the. Yeah, sorry. For audio fans, give us a listen on Apple, Spotify, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and Google Podcast, or watch our videos on YouTube at Our Wrestling Channel. On social media, can you help us out and give us a follow on Instagram or Twitter at O.W.P 2019, or on Facebook at Our Wrestling Podcast. For Craig, Jess, and Dave, this is the O.W.P signing off. Have a good one.